not able to get certified. That impacts your ability to get a contract here. Let me back up a little bit, because a lease will not be signed unless your joint venture agreement has been approved. So again, I want to stress the importance of that, of understanding how to put your agreement in place. If you can have it 75% completed, and once you're selected for this, you don't have that much to go to. It reduces your curve and the time required to really finalize that joint venture agreement. But back to the ACDBE certification, you must be certified. Your partners must be certified at the time of submission. We will not count or credit your proposal if your ACDBEs are not certified or have a pending certification. So now's the time to get those applications in. And one final question. This is different from when we did this 5 or 6 years ago. Back when we did the capital development program, there was a local preference criteria. There will not be a local preference criteria this round. So I want to make sure that everybody knows about it. We've put this out, like I said, I'm sure Dawn talked about this the last 2 times we presented. But there will be no local geographic preference in this solicitation. That concludes my presentation. Are there any questions? Yes.
Thank you. My question is with regard to suppliers of furniture or retail goods. Does the supplier have to be an MWDBE or ACDBE?
ACDBE. If you want that participation to count towards the ACDBE goal, they must be certified ACDBE.
What if their financing or business mentorship comes from a sanctioned micro business development and lending company?
That would be a special circumstance which we'd need to take a look at, and those types of decisions are taken into consideration by Dawn. We'd also have to check with our certification agency, but we can definitely follow up with you on that and get you an answer.
So as opposed to the supplier side, the Women's Business Council and the National Minority Supplier Development Council don't count toward that?
That's correct. Only NCTRCA certifies ACDBEs. Women's Business Council certifies WBEs, and the Minority Business Council certifies only MBEs. That's it? No running back and forth? I got heels on today. I'm ready. Okay, well, with that, who am I turning it over with? A break? We're taking a test, so when we look at each proposal, we're looking for a minimum of 35% ACDBE participation. The second question that was asked is, if I have not applied for ACDBE, can I still apply? Like I said, if you haven't done it, you're behind the 8 ball. I would encourage you to get your application in ASAP. Once NCTRCA tells you we've got everything we need to start reviewing your application, they will give you a tracking number. And for those of you that are going to follow this, I've got my card. You can send me that tracking number. We'll call NCTRCA and ask them to put it on a priority review status. So, you know, if this is going to go out in August, it sounds like there's about 60 days here. So you probably do have time to get certified, but one thing to remember is that the review will not start until you have every piece of paperwork that they ask you for. If you turn in your application and you're missing documents, they will not review your application until you have everything in place. So keep that in mind. If you're not certified, you think you might qualify, call NCTRCA, go in and meet with Sheena Morgan. She will tell you yes, no, maybe so, but get your application in and make sure that every document that's requested is submitted with the application, and that way the time frame for the review process gets started. Okay? DFWairport.com, and then you click on business opportunities, then business diversity, and then on ACDBE program. Who's next? Okay, Michael Baldwin.
Thank you, Suzanne. Let's give Suzanne another round of applause, please. Well, again, thanks everyone for being here. And as usual, you know, we're very excited here at DFW about not where we've been, but where we're heading. And more importantly, to have all of you as part of that potential future family. Let me just say that we are just returning from the AMAC conference in New Orleans. We've been going since about 4 o'clock this morning, and kind of cut the conference short to be here because this is of the utmost importance. But it's safe to share with you the excitement that we experienced the last 3 days in New Orleans. And that experience that we had was so exciting because of the fact everyone is buzzing DFW. Everyone is buzzing about this terminal development project. Everyone is buzzing about the RFP program and where we're heading. And we are so excited about it, just knowing that everyone else, not only in this region, but worldwide, I can't tell you the number of persons that approached us to talk about what's happening at DFW. They've talked about the excitement of what the newness is going to bring. We have an opportunity to take the industry to a whole new level with our concessions program. And so you, under the sound of my voice, are very much a part of that. So we thank you for being here again today. Give yourselves another round of applause, please. Thank you. Before I get to the very start of this so we can end, beginning with the end in mind, I'd like to say, I'm not going to be very long, but we're going to bring up a panel, okay, of the presenters that have been here today, because we noticed that there were a series of questions that were shared at break time. We don't want anyone to leave here, go home stressed, start palpitating, and have a heart attack or anything because they didn't get the right information. We want to give it to you. Is that okay? So just stick around. We're going to bring everyone up, and let's get the questions answered, okay? Because it may be helping somebody else, not only yourselves, okay? So I've turned in my proposal. Now what? The proposal process, if you will, proposals are screened for minimum qualifications by airport staff. Now, Peter talked about minimum qualifications, and Ron referenced the fact that if you don't meet the minimum qualifications, you don't advance to the next phase. So it's imperative that you look at the information very intently to understand what those qualifications are asking for. Proposals that meet qualification requirements are reviewed by a selection committee of 5 to 7 members to determine the proposal that best meets the needs that are being requested, the needs of the airport. So today we have not selected that group of committee members, but I can tell you that there will be a very fair assessment during this process. Companies with top scoring proposals that are too close to determine a clear winner may be asked to make a presentation to the selection committee. Now, this is not something that's an exception. This is not something that's abnormal. This happens in many cases from time to time, and this is our approach to addressing that. The lease will be sent to the company and must be signed prior to board review. We cannot take a lease, a proposed opportunity to the board unless we've solidified that opportunity. Does that make sense for everyone? So we will not take something forward unless you've fully consummated that you're on board